You like that? 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 You like that?
What's going on? It's Coach Williams, and I'm back for another breakdown. So today we are going to talk outside zone. And like we do from time to time on this channel, we're going to look at it on film, and then we're going to step into the perspective of the players. So let's get started. Why are we talking about outside zone? It's because if you haven't heard, the Kyle Shanahan offense and his run scheme has started to permeate the NFL. Lots of people are trying to copy what he's doing, so it's good to get an understanding of what's going on, and from a defensive perspective, what things we can look for to get a probabilistic understanding of where the run might hit. So, we want to talk about outside zone and Kyle Shanahan. Let's talk about the best Kyle Shanahan offense we've ever seen, and that's the 2016 Atlanta Falcons. So they come out here in this 11 personnel formation. We've got one back, one tight end, and you'll notice that Julio Jones is on the end of the line of scrimmage here. And so on this play, everybody ends up zone stepping right. It's outside zone. Running back finds a nice little crease, gets up the field, and gets a nice, big, explosive play. But if we go back to the beginning of the play, you will notice that Julio Jones has a little bit of a gap, right? There's this wide gap between him and the tackle. And so everybody else zone steps down, but he ends up sealing off this linebacker, right? So the edge of the defense is wide open, but this guy ends up coming down. There's this little crease here, and the running back cuts it back, okay? So one thing that I always tell my guys to look for is, especially away from the tight end, does the end man on the line of scrimmage have a gap between him and the next closest blocker, right? So tight end's over here. This is opposite side. Is there a gap? If you see that, there's pretty good odds that the run is going to hit this way. Okay, and that's exactly what ends up happening. So, now we're going to talk about the New England Patriots. So there's all kinds of rumors out there and people talking about how the Patriots are going to totally revamp their offense and totally change everything, and that they're going to be running the Kyle Shanahan run scheme. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but they did pick up some guys in free agency and in the draft that are a little bit more suited to do outside zone run plays than the downhill gap scheme runs that they're doing. So I think they're going to be a little bit more multiple and do those two things a little bit more, but who knows? We'll end up seeing it when the season starts. But if we look at this play here, okay? So we've got Trent Brown and Shaq Mason right here, and we can see they're to the tight end side, so this is the right side, and we can see the split between the two of them. But if we go to the left side, where the tight end is away from, if we look at Micah Wenu and Isaiah Wynn, you can tell that the split is noticeably larger over here, okay? And so what ends up happening on this play? The run hits away from the tight end, okay? So Isaiah Wynn tries to get out here. He tries to reach block this guy on the end of the line of scrimmage, ends up holding him, and it ends up being a tackle for a loss, okay? So we've seen it from the film perspective. Now we're going to step into VR and get a perspective of what we can see from the safeties to understand where the run is going to hit and what things we want to look for. So I'll see you in a second in VR. All right, so what's going on? We're here in VR. Let's just jump right into this thing, okay? So we're going to jump into the perspective of the backside safety here, okay? And so what you can do, right, is at the start of play, you're a safety, you got tons of time, right? Unless they're going hurry up, you're going to have tons of time to be able to look around. So you want to walk around and check and look for things, and you want to see this split over here versus the split to your side. And this guy right here is absolutely cheating his alignment, right? We can tell right off the bat, this guy is cheating his alignment here. So now we know pretty good chance that the run could be coming this way. So what you want to do is you want to creep down, right? We want to play slow to fast. We don't want to sprint up here, because I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking, well, what happens if it goes the other way, right? Because if it goes the other way, you're in a bad spot if you sprint up. Or you're thinking, what if it's play action and boot, right? So play action, boot, they end up going the other way. What's going to end up happening is you're going to get this crosser or a post that's going to sneak in behind you. If you run up, it's going to be hard for that corner to be able to make this play. You're going to be out of it. Could be a big explosive. So you just want to stay back here. You want to play slow to fast, creep up, read it. And if it ends up being a run play, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers for 1, 2, 3, 4 guys on this side. Well, you're the 5th guy. You're going to be extra. They're not going to be able to block you. Okay. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back with more breakdowns. So as always, you know what it is. It's Coach Williams, Ball Hawks. We fly. I'm out. Peace.
I've made amends, called all my friends and said I made you better, that we changed more than the weather, but all good things end. And I'll play pretend and say I'm out forever, when we both know we would never win. I've made a